All right, have your Bible tonight. I hope you do. Then listen to the book of Mark. Mark chapter 16. I'm a different book of tonight. This time of year. Gospel year, any time of year.
Amen.
Every day of the week, every hour of the day.
Yes, sir.
Mark chapter number 15. And verse 15. Where I want to start, and I want to read down to 38, so I just stay to you tonight. So I want to read those several verses there. Mark chapter 15, verse 15 to 38. I see what's the land in there and doing all of this and doing good. I couldn't help thinking about how those kids are smart. Don and I was talking at the start of the service about it, how smart these little kids are.
Sure.
And I sat in my study and my granddaughter and of course Beth, Aubrey and Noah, when I go in there, they're going to be not far behind me. I got a CD player on my desk in there, and I play CDs sometimes. They listen to radio while they sleep in there. But when I go in my study, they ain't going to be far behind. They're going to be right back in where they're at. And how they know, I don't know, but they'll come in there and pop us play this. And they'll get that step into the water. And I got this there by the cathedral, and I play step into the water. And I got watching them, every one of them singing a song. The whole song. And I was playing, they wanted me to play this one. And of course it was Chain Breaker. And I played Chain Breaker for them. They listened to that in a while, and they listened to that in a while. But they sang every word of those songs. And just jumping around, and I wasn't thinking, paying attention to them. I got to watch them. They were singing every word of those songs. Even the little one, my grandson, he'll sing part of it, and he gets down and he does like Landon was doing there, but then he'll sing so long. It was just amazing. So, kind of, learned me a good lesson, I guess, and that behooves us all. And that's what folks do around those kids. They show it and pick it up, and they learn and hurt nowadays. And so, I was just sweet with Landon there as he was running and doing those things. I tell you folks, that's where we ought to be raised. In church, and doing the things that God will have us to do, and teach those young ones. Sometimes you want to fix their heads off, but I tell you what, teaching the thing to try.
Amen.
Teaching them young while they get gaining that knowledge. We probably couldn't really comprehend how much knowledge you're gaining when they're teaching them that, and you're teaching them that at home and the things that you're teaching. And I want to share tonight out of Mark chapter 15, verses 15 through 38. Verse 15, and so Pilate, willing to content the people, released Barabbas unto them, and delivered Jesus when he had scourged him to be crucified. And the soldiers led him away into the hall called Praetorium, and they called together the whole band, and they clothed him with purple and clad a crown of thorns and put about his head, and began to salute him, Hail, King of the Jews. They smote him on the head with a reed, and did spit upon him, and bowed their knees, worshipped him. And when they had mocked him, they took off the purple from him, and put his own clothes on him, and led him out to crucify him. And they compelled one Simon, a Cyrenian, who passed by, coming out of the country, the father of Alexander and Rufus, to bear his cross. And they bring him unto the place of Golgotha, which is being interpreted, the place of the skull. And they gave him to drink wine mingled with myrrh, but he received it not. And when they had crucified him, they parted his garments, casting lots upon them, what every man should pay. And it was the third hour, and they crucified him. And the superscription of his accusations was written over, King of the Jews. And with him they crucified two thieves, one on his right hand and the other on his left. And the scripture was fulfilled which said, and he was numbered with the transgressors. And they that passed by railed on him, wagging their heads and saying, Ah, thou that destroyest the temple, and buildest it in 3 days, take thyself and come down from the cross. Likewise also the chief priests mocking said among themselves with the crowd, He saves others, himself he cannot save. Let Christ the King of Israel descend down from the cross, that we may see and believe. And they that were crucified with him reviled him. And when the 6th hour was come, there was darkness all over the land, the whole land, until the 9th hour. And at that 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eloah, Eloah, lama sabachthani, which is, being interpreted, My God, why hast thou forsaken me? And some of them that stood by, when they heard it, said, Behold, he calleth Elijah. And one ran and filled a sponge of vinegar, full of vinegar, and put it on the reed, and gave him to drink, saying, Let alone, let us see whether Elijah will come to take him down. And Jesus cried with a loud voice, and gave up the ghost. And the veil of the temple was rent in flames from the top to the bottom. Father, we thank you. And now, Lord, we just ask you to bless the reading of your word, and Lord, to allow us to go forward in the night. Father, hide us behind the cross that we can see Jesus and not them. Lord, we need you tonight, and I just pray that you would just lead us and guide us. And Lord, we need that help that only you can do. Father, may we say the things that you would have us say, nothing more, nothing less. I pray that it will fall upon our hearts, not upon our heads. Lead us and guide us to the Holy Spirit, and we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. I want to think tonight on the subject, where would you have been when the lights went out? Where would you be when the lights went out? In 1965, there was a power failure on the East Coast, and up in New York. New York lost all the lights they had, all the power they had, and everything went completely dark, no power. And sometime later after that, there was a book named that, or Where Were You When the Lights Went Out? And sometime later a movie came out of Where Were You When the Lights Went Out? And the Bible records. The Bible says on the day that Jesus was crucified, the lights went out all over the earth. And some folks are trying to say that it was probably an eclipse. Of course, we've got that coming up here pretty soon. I think it's totally eclipse. But some folks try to pass that away as it had been a time of eclipse, but it could not have been an eclipse because it was a time of a Passover in Jerusalem, and that was not in line with an eclipse. But there was a great historian, a Roman historian, Phlegon was his name. He recorded that strange darkness in some of his writings. And it's been recorded in Roman history of a strange darkness that came over the face of the earth. And of course, the Bible says that God turned the lights off. And that's the way I believe it. God just turned everything out dark because God was not looking upon sin. His Son was dying upon that old cross for your sins and my sins and the sins of the world. And God would not look upon those sins. So he turned all the lights off over the world and caused the darkness to come there. But even that darkness was there. God was answering the shout of the people around Jerusalem. They were shouting, crucify him. And so God was answering that plea. But it was not a plea only for them, but it was a plea for all of us, that we might be saved. What Jesus was doing, taking the sins of the world, that we should have actually been the ones to put upon that cross. But Jesus carried our sins with the cross, that we believe in him we might be cleansed, and we might be washed and made white as the snow, and trusting the plan of salvation that God instituted on the day that the lights went out. And there was Rembrandt. I remember Rembrandt when I was in school, talking about he was a Dutch artist, a great artist, and he painted a picture of the crucifixion. But up in the very corner of that picture, he painted the likeness of himself in the corner of that in the corner of his picture. He painted the likeness of himself, representing that Christ had died for him. And Christ was the reason that the lights went out, because he was dying for man. He was dying for him. Dying for humanity to take away the sin of the world. So Rembrandt painted that picture and put himself in there as a testimony of the Lord Jesus Christ dying for him. But I want to think for just a moment tonight, where would we be in the crowd on that day? Our lives, the certain indications in our lives today would probably reflect where we would have been that day that the lights went out. Our lives, the way we live them, and what we're doing now, can tell us where we might have been on the day the lights went out. And there was a crowd. I just want to look at these right quick tonight. The crowd. This crowd, some 5 days earlier, just a few days earlier, was standing at the cross, watching Jesus being crucified. And when the lights went out, they were standing looking at the cross. But this crowd, just 5 days earlier, just a few days earlier, was singing praises. They were shouting, Hosanna in the highest, blessed be the one that comes in the name of the Lord, and even worshiping Jesus. But now, on this day that the lights went out, they were hollering, crucify him, crucify him. The same crowd, most of the same crowd of people had become so indifferent they were following the crowd. This bunch wanted Jesus crucified, and very few did not want him crucified. But as they began to holler, crucify him, the crowd became indifferent. They began to be swayed from one way or another. I say, would we fit into that crowd? I think it's kind of almost like a little test of how much we love Jesus. Could we be swayed that easy just 5 days earlier worshiping the Lord, and then a few days later hollering crucify him? Are we grounded? Or do we love the Lord enough that we would not be a part of the crowd as they stood and watched Jesus die, as they stood and watched the lights go out? A lot of folks are being swayed today. Some of the people that you think, I think, were solid in their ground for the causes of Christ, solid in their faith, but it seems like for some reason they begin to follow the crowd. And following after the crowd. And the crowd has taken them away from what thus saith the Lord. I knew of a pastor, it had been long ago. His wife, Betsy, he said she didn't love him anymore. But where's the crowd? Following after the crowd. This crowd that stood at this time crucified Jesus. They didn't want nothing else to do with Jesus. They hollered, crucify. Also in the crowd that day was those that might have attended the church regularly, or the synagogue. They had synagogues in those days. There might have been those folks in that crowd that attended church regularly. But somehow they have become to that place where they've been persuaded, or the crowd has caused them to leave the house of the Lord. And there's all kinds of excuses. I've heard them all. Well, not all of them. I'm imagining some fresh ones out there, but you hear all kinds of excuses. But listen, where would we be? Where is our love for Christ? Where's our love for the Lord Jesus? He died on that cross, gave his life for you and me. Amen. The least we could do is to serve him and worship him. But this crowd, the crowd of people have been swayed and become indifferent one way and then another, and out and back. The Bible tells us, don't follow after every wind of doctrine. Stay with Jesus. Follow Jesus. Trust him. Stand with him. That crowd that was there that day, when the lights went out, there were those that once loved him and once walked with him something. But now, they're hauling crucified. Then look at Mark 15 and 24, the Bible says the soldiers. And when they had crucified him, they parted his garments, casting lots upon them, what everyone should take. They was not worried about what was happening around. They were worried about their job. They were worried about themselves and casting lots. It was the Roman soldiers' privilege to take the clothes off of those that they crucified. But I figure here they were taking Jesus' clothes. They might could make money with it. They might could sell it, or put somewhere that might could gain something for themselves with the clothes of Jesus. They were at the foot of the cross. They were there that day that the lights went out, not worrying about what was going on, not involved in the things that were going on. They were just not even concerned about their work. So much unconcerned. We come to church while we are in church. What do we think about when we're in church? What do we think about before we come to church? I had a friend of mine one time, me and him were talking, and he said, we ought to at least an hour before church starts, before we leave to go to church. We ought to be praying, we ought to be on our hands and our knees and getting ready to go to church to worship the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Amen. We ought to be prepared when we get there. A lot of times we get up and we come out of the last thing, combing our hair or whatever, and we come in running and wide open and trying to settle down and get ready to go to worship when we all done been ready.
Yes, sir.
We ought to be ready to come to the house of the Lord.
Right, amen.
But like these Roman soldiers that was in the crowd, they were not concerned. They were concerned about the things of the world. And we are so much like them. We ought to paint ourselves in the picture of the Roman soldier. Somebody else, another group of folks that should have been at the cross that day, they were not even there. And that was the one that was as closest to Jesus as anybody. That were the disciples. The disciples, the Bible says, forsook him and fled. When they arrested Jesus and they brought him in, the Bible, I preached on Peter a few Sundays ago, and how he did go through, but he was afar off. Peter was falling afar. The Bible says that they forsook him and fled. And when what? These that were the closest to Jesus during his life and ministry forsook him. They was not even at the cross. They were alive. Without. But there were some faithful people there that day. There were 4 women and 1 man that were standing at the foot of the cross that day. Faithful people. Folks, that's the way we ought to be. We ought to be faithful. When things are tough, when things go, when it gets tough, we ought to be faithful to our Lord.
Amen.
When the world wants to tear him down, when the world wants to crucify him, which we live in today, and talk about Christians the way they do, and want to persecute Christians, we ought to stand for Jesus. We ought to be counted. We ought to be faithful to Jesus. But is our love for him strong enough to stand? Do we love him enough that we would stand? I think we ought to be to that point where we can't even talk about Jesus. We ought to be able to where we can share Jesus. We ought to be able to, when we come and worship our Savior. I was talking to somebody the other day that I almost just got up and took off the running in the service. I said, why didn't somebody probably thought of you?
Amen.
We ought to be excited about serving our Savior.
Amen.
Amen.
If the lights went out, if the lights come on, we ought to still be standing strong for Jesus.
Yes, Lord.
And we ought, if the lights go out and all across the world, when they come back on, we ought to be standing there thanking Jesus
Yes, Lord.
for his goodness and his mercy. I tell you, it's exciting for me to know that we have a Savior who gave his life for us and who died upon that cross. But yet I'm so glad he didn't stop there. I'm glad to know that he arose from the dead.
Amen. Yes,
I'm
amen.
glad they finally put Jesus in the ground and put it in that old tomb over there and covered it up and sealed it up. But listen, God was more powerful than that, even that rock was, and the Savior came forth, and he lives today. Our Savior lives today.
Yeah.
Amen.
And we ought to be excited about serving our risen Savior. And we ought to be excited about heaven. When if the light went out, we ought to be right there to say, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
I'm going to tell you, when the lights go out, they're going to come back on sometime or another. When it comes to rainstorm, they go in the sunshine after the rain. And we've got to be prepared to stand for Jesus. But you know, no matter where we find ourselves, we find ourselves away from the cross, we still serve a Savior who welcomes us back.
Amen.
We still serve a God with his arms stretched out, welcome us back. And we ought to be telling others, lost people, all the folks that are lost, that are sick in Jesus, he died for you.
Yes, sir.
He died for you.
Amen.
Where would you be standing that day when the lights went out? Would you be with the crowd? Would you be with the soldiers? Or would you be with the disciples? Or would you be with the faithful people? How much do you love Jesus today? I'm going to ask you a thing. Everyone standing there, every head bowed, every eye closed. This is the thing you was involved in, where